Jack Thunder and the Fragments of Anima, Book 7, Null. Chapter 4, The Passage of No Return. Buckthorn checked the list in her hand. Well, I guess that's it. Now we just need to find the others. Wait, we said we'd meet back at the fountain. They should be back any minute, Jack Thunder remembered. Buckthorn sighed in relief before sitting down on the edge of the fountain. It wasn't even noon and her feet already hurt. At least the two of them had managed to get some food before their inevitable march into Tartarus. She never would have guessed that a place like Harlequin's Repose could have such fantastic pork dumplings. Her mind wandered to Frosti and San. She wondered how they were doing. Had San managed to find a way through the mountains to the west? Razer jumped off of Jack Thunder's shoulder and began sniffing the ground. "What is it, Razer? What do you smell?" The weather wyvern didn't answer. He made his way to the outskirts of town, Jack Thunder and Buckthorn following close behind. Before they knew it, they were at the edge of the Thornback Mountain range. A tall, steep hill blocked their sight. Razer kept sniffing and poking at the base of the mountain. He began to scratch at the thick stone wall in front of them, as if searching for something. Jack Thunder grunted. "Razer, there's nothing here. Nothing except—" He froze. As Razer continued to paw at the mountain, he uncovered a long crack in the stone, one that grew with every motion of the weather wyvern's claw. It formed an archway in the stone wall. If Jack Thunder hadn't known better, he would say it was— "Oh! Jack, Buckthorn, I didn't expect to see you two here." Buckthorn jumped. How had San and Frosti managed to sneak up on them like that? "We asked around if there was a way through the Thornback Mountains. One of the Harlequin gremlins here told us that there is a secret passageway through the mountains that leads straight to World's End. She said it was around here somewhere." San noticed Razer's pawing at the ground. "Oh, has your little friend found something?" San placed his hand in the center of the mountain door. He pushed a little, but it didn't budge. "Huh, wonder how we get this open." He pressed his rather long nose to the rock, searching for any indentations or markings that might give him a clue. In its face were 6 small, glassy stones arranged in a circle. Somehow San already knew what these were for. As if to confirm, Jack Thunder and Buckthorn stepped up to San's side. Immediately, 2 of the 6 stones began to glow. The one at the top glowed a greenish sky blue, then one next to it a deep indigo. Of course, that would make sense, San thought. The passage was only supposed to open when all the fragments of Anima were present. It was probably a failsafe to ensure that only the fragment wielders could use it. The denizens of Harlequin's Repose must have seen the Heart of Darkness's return coming for a long time now. They couldn't chance the corruption in World's End spreading to the rest of Alterus, but they knew that the future heroes would need an easy way into the sight of the Wendigos' return. "Oh, it's 11! We should be back at the square by now!" Frosti pointed to the sun above. Right, San snapped out of his thoughts. The 5 of them made haste back to the fountain. They would come back here. "So this is the place?" Snotter stepped back to get a better look. This was definitely it. 2 of the 6 stones in the slab were still glowing. She could guess by their colors that Jack Thunder and Buckthorn had been the ones to activate them. Just 4 more and the tunnel would open up. Supposedly, anyway. "You mean we each have to go up to the door?" Shadowpaw stammered. Snotter couldn't help but feel sorry for the Nekomata. She was in little better shape, but she took care not to let it show. Terra's incessant flashing betrayed her feelings, though. Its vines curled around her hands as if to protect them. One by one, each of the 6 young heroes went up to the door. First Shadowpaws, then her, then Kirami, then Saturn. The 4 remaining stones lit up with violet, green, red, and yellow light as each of the fragments of Anima came into contact with them. All of a sudden, the stone's glow brightened. With a flash of white and the cracking of stone, the door shattered into many little pieces. It crumbled to the ground, revealing a dark, narrow passage. As much as they would have loved to stay in Harlequin's Repose, the team knew they couldn't hang around there forever. They each made their way inside. The path to World's End was fairly straightforward. There were no sharp turns or sudden drops, just one long walk to the end. Not that it made Snotter's nerves any better. She only had the light from the fragments of Anima to guide her, and it seemed as though that light grew dimmer with each passing moment. The tunnel was silent, save for the steady dripping of water from above and the occasional bat chirp. Through the darkness, Snotter eventually spotted a speck of light. The other end of the tunnel was in view. In any other case, she would have felt relief at seeing the light at the end, but now it only made her nerves worse. She swallowed a globule of spit as she continued on. The gloom of the cave made way to a soft, dim light as she stepped out of the tunnel. Kirami and Saturn followed close behind her, turning their gaze up to the sky. As soon as Saturn set foot outside, Snotter heard stone scraping and a heavy door slamming. A stone barrier had sealed the passage shut, blocking the only way back to Harlequin's repose. The only way through was forward.